too close to it. We can always bump it up in the post-production.
All right.
And you are number 3. There we go. And let me get my little timer started here.
Yeah.
We try to keep these to not more than 20 minutes. The goal being that folks can just kind of listen to it to and from work, and it's just quick and easy.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, because we can put some interviews together. Yeah,
perfect.
It's
No
fine.
problem.
No problem.
Thank you.
No problem.
We like to keep a timer here so we know what we're doing.
Perfect.
All right. Like a real TV show.
Yeah.
She's gonna
All right, Liz.
Okay. Hey everyone, I'm Darcy. Welcome back to Quality Matters. I'm here with Kyle.
Yes. You introduced me, so there we go.
I know, I always say that.
Okay.
We are here at the ASQ Houston Regional Quality Conference. I had to look at my cheat sheet. I knew it was ASQ. And we are interviewing Jennifer Rodriguez, although she says it much prettier than I say it.
Jennifer Rodriguez.
There we go, with
Pretty close.
with Cuba Pharma. And you're a manager of corporate quality systems.
That's correct.
So what does that mean for you at your company?
So I manage all of the rules, procedures, all of the processes related to the quality management system.
Okay.
So I am corporate, so my role is to make sure all of the sites comply with the standards.
Okay.
So because I'm the corporate, everybody has to be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
So we have other locations, other sites, and I'm here in the Sugarland location, which is the corporate offices. So
Okay.
I'm responsible to maintaining all of our ISO standard procedures, FDA 21 CFR requirements.
Okay.
I participate also in the self-inspection program that is kind of like internal audit program,
Right.
and pretty much that's in general.
So part of what we try to get across in the podcast here is like truly how much quality management impacts every industry, every business, everyone's life is impacted by this. So I guess for the folks out there, tell us a little bit about what kind of products you all produce.
Yeah, so we are a compounder.
Okay.
Yeah, so we are a 503B compounding facility.
Okay, Kyle might know what that means. He's nodding his head, but
Yes.
I don't, and maybe some of our listeners
Yeah,
don't.
most folks probably won't know what compounding is. They just
it's-
think they get something at the pharmacy.
Yeah, so what does that mean?
Yeah, so our customers are hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
So what we do is we provide a service that is ready to be used. So you are in the hospital, you are going to be about to be deliver a baby.
Okay.
So they need something now that complies with the standard. So it's sterile. It has been tested for endotoxin. It has been tested for the potency, and it complies with. It's just ready to be used. It's in a syringe form or it's in a bag form, and it's just. The hospital doesn't have to spend the time or the resources to prepare that medicine for the patient. So
Okay.
what
Okay.
we deliver to the hospital is a medicine ready to be used. And ready
Okay.
to be used with something really is important. We test for endotoxin, potency, and sterility.
Okay.
So we verify that the product that is going to be used right now, it meets all of the specifications that you maybe would have done in the hospital. But they don't. You know what? Hospitals have to put their resources where they need to be, with the doctors, with the patients, with the service they provide.
Right.
For them to be compounding medicine, that's not what they do. So we provide a service.
So
Makes
is it
sense.
all medicine that the hospitals use, or just specific ones, like the fluids that you get out of your bag, or?
So we have bags, we have syringes, we have cats. So we have a wide range of products. And also we provide medicine that is on a shorter list. So
Right.
medicine that it cannot be readily purchased in the market.
Gotcha.
We can
So if they
provide
need
that.
something very specific,
Yes.
so instead of the hospital keeping just tons and tons of inventory and managing it and worrying about the dates and the sterility, they can just find, okay.
Exactly, and it is provided in the doses and in the potency and in the all of these requirements ready to be used.
So I'm curious, what are some of the top problems you run into? Like, you talk about all these quality management standards. What type of problems do they help you prevent?
So if you have a good quality management system, you have products and standards or processes that are in control.
Okay.
So what we want to do is we want to make sure the product that I'm telling you is with the right potency, for example.
Gotcha.
It has the right labels. So can you imagine if your doctor is about to give you a medicine and it does not have the right label? You might be taking medicine that is not right for you.
Right, so the doctor did what they supposed to, but it wasn't labeled correctly.
It wasn't labeled right. So maybe we did so that's critical.
Yeah.
Labeling, packaging. So our employees follow this process, this quality management system, and we have all of the controls to provide a good service. So that's pretty much what the quality management system
So do y'all create the medicine there, or y'all
No.
order it and then package it and label it?
Yes,
Okay.
that's correct. Yeah, so we don't manufacture. We get our API and we put them in the right doses and in the right packaging to be delivered to the customer.
Okay.
Very interesting, very interesting.
So you are kind of like a pharmacy for the hospital.
Kind of an in-between, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. So you talk about the 21 CFR? What is that?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
so
21 CFR.
what's that?
So everybody understands ISO 9001.
Right.
So that's our Bible.
Right.
That's the rules.
Right.
Well, in the pharmaceutical world, the regulations and the standards are the 21 CFR.
Okay.
So when you are, for example, I work also in oil and gas, you will register and you will get your quality management system certified by ISO or
Right.
by API. So there's a difference between the API that I mentioned and this API.
Right.
So this API that I'm mentioning right now in oil and gas industry is American petroleum industry.
Right.
When I talk about the other API in pharmaceutical, is the active product ingredient. We use a lot of
Words
this is a
matter.
problem. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes. So for the company that registered to this ISO or this API, they come to you to your facility and they audit. They make sure
Right.
that you are following the standards. So for the pharmaceutical, the same thing. FDA comes to you, but this is a little different. They come to you whenever they want. They just come to your door.
No cram
They
session
don't-
before
yeah,
the
it's not like
audit.
they call you, can you? No, it's not a schedule.
Right.
Right.
So it's a little bit different the industries. So the requirements are different.
Well, it would
you
help
have
you
to be
keep on
ready.
your toes.
Yes, and it's really important because you're talking about medicine, you're talking
Right.
about food, you're
Right.
talking about things that it can kill a person. Well, actually, oil and gas too. You know, if you don't
Yeah.
have
But it's a
an
little more-
explosion.
Right.
It could be a little more immediate in the healthcare.
Correct. So with a pharmaceutical, FDA just arrives to your facility and your quality management system and your processes and your people and your product has to be ready for them to inspect anytime. They can
Yeah.
just arrive at any time and they start the inspection. So the 21 CFR, and we have different sections, but for example, 820 is the part that talks about the quality management system requirements.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's pretty much a similar standard to one ISO 9001 2015. That is right now the one that pretty
Now,
much
just
everybody uses.
my own point of curiosity
Yes.
is from how it's structured and how it's worded, because the API Q1 and Q2
Yes.
and the ISO 9001
Yes,
are
yes.
really similar.
They are.
How are we talking about similarities here when you move to the
Yes.
CFR is the federal government? Because
Yes.
CFR is what Code of Federal Regulations. So it's like
Correct.
these are the government laws and rules.
Yes, they are.
How's it compare?
It is really similar. It is
Okay.
really similar. So we do have more requirements in terms of depending of if you are a medical device, if you are, for example, the ones that are manufacturing the medicine, or if we are 503B. So
Right.
those requirements in terms of the processes or the product that you are delivering might be different. But in terms of the quality management system, it's pretty much the same.
Gotcha.
So if you look at the sections, for example, you have control of documents, you have audit program. So it's the same.
It's all the same stuff,
Yeah,
yeah.
It's similar. But you know, like API Q1, you mentioned API Q1
Yeah.
and Q2 for services. Yeah, people try to make it a little bit more specific. For example, right now they have more risk management
Exactly.
requirements, or you have to audit your suppliers. Now it is a requirement on certain
Right.
regulations. But in terms, you need to control your suppliers. How you control it is up to you. But it's the requirements are really similar.
Okay.
not
Well,
much difference.
that kind of stands what I've told folks for is that there's only so many ways you can actually build it. Now the details can change dramatically, but
Correct.
there's only so many ways at the top you can organize it.
Yes.
Okay, so that's interesting.
Very cool.
You got anything else? I know
I
you've
don't
got
think
to
so.
get to. You have a presentation here in just a few minutes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any
So,
other questions?
I think that's
No,
it.
I think this is
That's cool.
fascinating. It's fascinating just to see how just such wide range of fields.
I don't think
It's all
people really
relatable.
understand how much, Kyle kind of pulled me into this business, and I don't really know a lot about it. I've learned a lot in the last year,
Yes.
but people don't realize how much quality affects our lives.
No.
Yes.
You know, the easiest way for me to explain what we do to people is, you know, manufacturing facilities, oil and gas follow a standard, but, you know, it's the medicine you're getting at a hospital too, and it's many other things we've discussed.
Yeah, nope, it's all very fascinating. We'll make sure to leave your info in the show notes as well. But I really appreciate your time, and good luck with your. I think we're ready.
All right, hey everyone, welcome back to Quality Matters. I'm your hostess, Darcy Chambers, here with
Kyle Chambers.
I didn't know if you were going to finish your drink in time. We are at the ASQ Houston Regional Quality Conference, and we have another guest on our podcast. We have Erin Urban, who is a certified Lean Six Sigma black belt and a certified, oh wait, I lost my place. Professional
okay.
and
There's a lot
leadership
of them.
development coach. I know, I was trying to pick out the acronyms and figure out what they stood for. So anyways, she stopped by and Kyle kind of started talking to her. And I think we were going to talk about soft skills and leadership.
Soft skills, ignoring them has hard consequences.
I know.
Yeah.
That is truth. And it's funny, because Kyle and I were just talking about how, oh yes, well, let's just go in, do this culture change, and let's tell them what to do.
Exactly.
And oh, by the way, here's our 20-step program, and a bunch of forms to fill out,
Exactly.
and we know best.
Yeah. Folks have asked me before, like, well, what's the hardest part about the job? Or like, what's the easiest of your service or hardest of your services to sell? I'm like, oh, consultation's a hard one across the board. Because you're asking folks to change effectively how they fundamentally operate and do business. It's all for the better, and it's not as terrible of a change as I make it sound right there, but yeah, you can't just step in and start telling people what to do. It doesn't work.
Exactly. And people are very emotionally attached
Yes.
to how they do work right now. I mean, think about it. If somebody came into your house tomorrow and said, oh, hey, how you do everything, wash clothes, doing dishes, it's all wrong. You make your bed wrong or don't make your bed. Now you need to make your bed. Whatever that looks like, it's emotional for you.
It is.
And at work, we're emotionally attached to those processes. So as a quality professional or continuous improvement professional, you come in, have to honor what is there right now and understand it before we make change.
Yep.
And most importantly, increase that know, like, and trust factor. Because when you come into a new role or a new situation or a new project or anything new with new people involved, you have to create basically a credible presence.
Yeah.
Are you someone they can trust?
Right.
No, it's hard, and you know, the first couple of consultation jobs that I got a false sense of what it would be like, because rather than coming in and kind of setting up something from the ground up, these folks had bought like this ISO in a box type solution. It was kind of what you're talking about. It was like, here's every form you need, here's every procedure you need, ditch everything you've ever done before, do what we tell you to.
Just add water and some ISO.
Exactly. And so I came in and they were just desperate for someone to help them with their business. And so those kind of give me this false sense of what it would be like. And since then I found that, you know, it's getting those folks buying it can be a real challenge.
Real challenge.
Oh, yeah.
Particularly, I mean, face it, nobody likes change.
No.
Not really.
I found there's kind of and I'd like your take this, but there's just like a spectrum kind of change. Some folks really embrace it and they like almost any new idea and they're willing to run with it, but it seems like probably 80% of the rest of the population is just harshly resistant.
Right. I think there's a curve of that. Actually, you have your early innovators. Those people, arguably a small spectrum of the population, but those are the people who, if the new iPhone comes out, they're in line 2 a.m. the next morning, the previous morning. But you have your early innovators, and then you have your, those people who are like, okay, well, let me think about this, and I think it's probably a good idea, and that's probably 15%. And then you have those people who are lagging indicators, and those folks are like, I need to see this work first. And then you have that last group, and they are dragging the anchor. It doesn't matter what you say, they don't want to have anything to do with it. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So how do you get through that? With well, I guess let's take a step back. So when you come into a new organization, like how do you first get the folks on board? Because you really only have that first chance to really get a good impression. How do you make the most of that?
Well, I think what you should do is tell them all about how many credentials you've had.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think that. Yeah. You know, I've got all these Microsoft certs, and so you need to trust me because I'm smarter than you.
Right, you absolutely should trust me because I know more than you.
Yeah.
It always goes different well. The very first thing, okay, let's break it down to brass tacks. It doesn't matter really what you're doing. When it comes to engaging people, it basically boils down to your likability.
Okay.
Are you likable? And that is based on the behavior you demonstrate. There's a difference between coming in and saying, oh, hi, my name's Erin, and I'm a Lean Six Sigma Black Belt, and I'm a CPLCD, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Versus, hi, my name's Erin, and I know a little bit about Lean, and I'd love to learn what you're doing here,
Yeah.
and more about what your processes is, and
Agreed.
your challenges, and your concerns and your needs. In other words, I care
Right.
Yeah.
about you.
Yeah.
Right.
Versus, I care about making me look smart.
Yeah. Definitely true. So, what about you mentioned these folks are kind of lagging at the tail end, and whether you're in a consultation role or manager or taking on a new position, whatever it is, these folks are everywhere you go.
Saboteurs.
How do you handle that without? In my experience, I wind up spending over half my energy on like 2% of the employees. How do you avoid doing that? Because it's easy.
That's a good question, and conventional wisdom that is taught right now would tell you, hey, don't focus on the lagging indicators, those anchor draggers. Focus all your energy on those people who are on board, who get it, or even need a little bit of convincing. But here's the thing. You have to understand who these people are because they can be your project saboteurs. And if you identify a project saboteur, you want to be their best friend.
I like that.
Yes. So you over communicate to them. You during your interviews with that person, you ask more questions. And even if they're pushing back and with illogical responses, it's not our business to tell them they're wrong. It's our business to hear them out, listen to their concerns.
Now, I think that bears repeating because that's a tough one. So it's not our job to tell them they're wrong, just to listen.
All you need to do is shut up and
Yeah.
listen. And then throughout the project, you want to communicate with this person arguably more than anybody else, or persons, if it's more than one, more than anybody else. Because if they are in a position where they can sabotage your project and you ignore them, that could be to your detriment.
Yeah.
Makes sense. How do you avoid getting sucked in and spending an inordinate amount of time with these folks?
Establish a process. I know that comes as a strange thing to hear from someone who's a continuous improvement professional. Process? What?
Yeah.
Yeah, establish a process. Really, it doesn't have to be. I think mentally we make it a lot bigger than it actually needs to be. It's just okay. How often do I communicate with them? What type of communication do I do?
Yeah.
Well, what does that look like? Am I just simply swinging by in the morning while, if I'm a consultant, I'm on site, saying, "Hey, Tom, how you doing? How's the
Gotcha.
kids?" Building that rapport and that relationship that you're a real person.
Just a little bit of planning.
Just a little bit of planning. It doesn't take that much. You'd
Yeah.
be surprised how much a little bit can impact positively impact your project.
And it sounds like not making every interaction about the project.
Right.
Get to know them on a personal
yeah,
level.
You need to get to know them in person. Real people, not just a title.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's important.
And that can be a tough one though for folks in our line of work, because most folks come into quality because they're really good at details, or even like the higher level engineering positions are just really good at the details,
Right.
and that doesn't translate well.
Well, from a behavioral science standpoint, most of the people who are attracted to quality and or continuous improvement positions are your data folks. You're on the DISC spectrum, you'd be a C type. And analytics, processes, a logical progression to things, organization is great. We love that stuff. However, we're not quite so drawn to being the social butterfly.
Right.
To know, like,
Seems like I know somebody like that.
Hey, I try hard. I try hard to overcome it. But you're preaching to me in a lot of this.
Yeah. So,
I try hard.
You're just giving him a little session right now.
sidebar coaching.
Yeah. No, I definitely found that out the hard way when I first tried to implement a lot of this at my old company, and because I was an IT manager, and so you go from being the IT manager to suddenly helping folks out with health and safety. Whew, that's a crash course right there.
I'll say. Hey, here's your people course.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's a process too. So hey, good news is you like processes. But
Oh
it's
yeah,
a process, isn't it?
It is.
And here's the thing: as a coach, I will tell you this: give yourself balance. So when you are spending time getting to know people and networking and building that know, like, trust factor,
Right.
it will drain you.
Yes.
Quite frankly. Build in time to recharge with those things that give you energy.
Okay.
Create a balance, because if you're continually putting out this energy and draining yourself
Right.
all the time without allowing that balance and getting that recharge, you will be miserable
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
Well, and folks like me who naturally are not the more social, outgoing person, it'll drain me way faster than it'll drain Darcy here.
Mm-hmm.
Like Darcy can, she'll last way longer than I will. And,
Got more sticking power.
Yes.
In a social situation,
Yes.
talking about processes and audits, I don't last
yeah,
too
she'll
long.
burn out real fast
This
there.
is me falling asleep.
Yes. So we're good. We're a good pair. We're a good pair. Do you have any questions?
I don't think so.
No. Do you have anything you want to kind of leave folks with, or any ideas that are big on your mind right now?
Well, just keep in mind that small incremental changes can make a big difference. So we don't need to adopt all these massive new habits or new way of being or new personality.
Right.
All we need to do is make small incremental changes, tweak a few things, maybe adjust our perspective slightly,
Right.
and it makes a huge impact on your effectiveness.
No, I definitely agree. How can folks find out more about you if they want to learn more?
Great question. So I'm Erin Urban. I'm the owner and founder of upsolutions.com.
Okay.
.net rather. Sorry, can't even get my own website.
And wait, but
sad.
I want to make sure we get it's UPP Solutions.
Solutions with an S.
It's not just
I have an
you.
easier one for you, however.
Okay.
Because I'm kind of smart and I do learn my feedback. If you want to find me at coacheurban.com.
Oh, there we go. That's
pretty
easy.
That's easy.
That's easy. Awesome. You got anything else?
I don't